Nike could come back on Amazon and sell their products themselves as a first-party vendor on the platform. This is the news that you may have seen going on all around Twitter, all around Facebook if you're a boomer and you're still on Facebook, not yet on YouTube, because you guys know that we have the infos right here first on this channel, so this is why you should subscribe, by the way. But yeah, a lot of talk regarding this, and a lot of people saying stuff such as, you know, reselling on Amazon is over, all the online arbitrage, retail arbitrage sellers are in shambles. And there's one thing that I find really, really corny. I do not understand why there's such a hate on sellers selling Nike products on Amazon. I really don't understand, because this business model is as valid as every other business model that you can do as a reseller on Amazon, and as any other business model that you can do on Amazon in general. All right, and I don't get the hate on Nike sellers. I really don't, on Nike socks sellers as well. I really don't, because Nike socks, Nike products can be super lucrative if you know where to source, if you know to do that stuff, and they sell super fast. So in today's video, we are actually going to look at, I'm going to explain the situation to you, and you know, as always, breaking news, it's actually some bullshit, okay? There's nothing that is really confirmed, and it's just speculation based on a couple of stuff. But yeah, it could actually happen. I'm not saying that it could not happen. It could happen, and this is why with Amazon you should always be ready to move, and you should not have all your eggs in one basket, right? As I've been saying over and over again. But what we're going to do today, we're going to look at what's true, what's not, and maybe what to expect and how to treat such news in the future. So if you do not know me, by the way, my name is Mangunza. I release daily videos right here on YouTube about selling on Amazon. So if you are new, subscribe and like this video so you get recommended more of those videos, all right? So, as I said, pretty much, and I'm going to base what I said right now on research that Chris Grant at Clear the Shelf made and tweeted about. And so pretty much what he said, and I haven't double checked, all right, I haven't double checked, but pretty much it looks like all this speculation is coming from one tweet from the CEO of a huge e-commerce company that is called Pattern, that said that Amazon should maybe, if I remember correctly, Amazon should maybe come back to I'm sorry, Nike should actually probably come back to Amazon because of a lot of reasons. Because if you do not know, Amazon used to be Nike, and I don't know why I keep saying Amazon, but Nike used to sell on Amazon before 2019, and in 2019 they actually stopped. Right, and so they were talking. There was a lot of speculation about that. They were talking about, like, he just tweeted pretty much that, saying that they should actually come back. No, based on that, a lot of speculation arise based on the fact that one C-suite executive from Amazon is now working at Nike. The fact that Nike shares price went down. There was a lot of reasons why people were actually speculating that it is probably going to happen soon. No, it's like nothing is really confirmed, and the way this news actually like, it's actually crazy the way this news has spread, and like, because this is 100% fake information. There's nothing saying that that Nike is going to come back, and if Nike come back, you're going to be fine. There's a ton of other products that you can sell. Nike products are not the only products. Yes, maybe you're selling a lot of Nike products right now, but you know, we've seen a lot of stuff with Nike, and it looks like, you know, at the end of the day, Amazon is selling on, I'm sorry, Adidas is selling on Amazon already, right? And there are still a lot of Adidas products that you can sell, that you can make a profit of. On Amazon, I sell a ton of Adidas products as well. I used to sell way more, but I used to sell a lot of Adidas products, all right? So it's not because Nike is coming back on Amazon that it is going to be over with Nike. It is going to change, and you should always expect. And this is something that you are going to hear me say. If you've been following me for a little while, you've heard me say it. If it's the first time that you see a video from myself and you subscribe, you're going to hear me say this a lot as well. Everything, like, do not expect to run your business the same way for the next 5 years. Things are going to change. Things are always going to change, and you need to adapt. If you do not adapt, you're going to end up like the dumb sellers that are on the seller forum that complain about everything. Your business needs to change. You cannot run your business the same way during 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You need to adapt. Your business is going to change. You need to adapt to the change, to the trends in the market, to a lot of stuff, all right? Your business is not always going to be the same. You cannot expect to get one product and sell that same product over and over again and make a kill, all right? Just, because people think that with wholesale it's the case. With wholesale, you're going to buy a ton of products at the same time. You do not need to do a lot of product research. Yes, you still need to do a lot of product research. You still need to understand brands, all right? With private labeling, people think of the same thing, but you know what? Think of some really successful brands that actually fell off. And one great example, and I'll make a whole video about that, but one great example of a brand and I'm talking about big brands, but it's the same thing with private labeling brands, because you actually create brands, right? And it's even harder if you work with dumber products, dumb products where you just put your brand on, it's even harder. But like, if you actually look at it, right? Look at a brand like GoPro. If you are pretty much the same age as me, when, we graduated high school and everything, it was like the golden age of GoPros, right? The GoPro Hero 3, Hero 4, Hero 5, I would say, were the best GoPro. They were going to come up with a drone and all that stuff. But who actually still use GoPros today? There's a lot of companies that came into the market and that make the same thing, that improved a lot on their product. Insta360, DJI, they have products that are way better than GoPro today. And GoPro should be the best of the best because they were the first mover. They are not anymore. Nobody cares about GoPro anymore. Yes, they still have stands, they still have shelf space. In Best Buy, they still have shelf space, but most people actually buy, like, GoPros are not people's favorite cameras anymore, action cameras. And if you look at Insta360, DJI, they have products that are way better now, and they have more products. GoPro is still selling their same camera, they did not improve. And even if you actually look at it, GoPro with their camera, they were improving on their camera, coming up with a new camera with new feature, always doing research and development every single year, and they are still improving their camera a little bit every single year. But this is a constant iteration process, and if you do private labeling, it needs to be the same thing. If not, your competitors, I'm going to come, someone like me, or not someone like me, but someone that's actually good with private labeling, is going to come and eat up your market, all right, with more capital than you, with a bigger brand than you, with better marketing than you, and just with a better product. So it's the same thing. It does not matter what business you do, things are going to change and you need to adapt. That's it. Whether it is retail arbitrage, whether it is online arbitrage, there are still works that needs to be done. Yes, if you do online arbitrage, you're going to need to do a little bit more product research. It does not mean that if you do private labeling, there's no works that needs to be done, because you need to constantly work on ways to improve your service, to improve your products anyway. Right? And so with online arbitrage, you cannot expect, especially with arbitrage, you cannot expect to get one product and sell the same product for the next 10 years. Yes, there are some products that I've been selling for more than 2 years. Yes, there are some of them that I've been selling for more than 2 years. It's not because I did that, I expect to sell these products forever. And even with some Nike products, I talk a lot about Nike products with people that are in my group mentorship. Because yes, if you don't know, you can join my group mentorship. There's a link in the description. I talk a lot with people about Nike products, with people in my group mentorship. There's one specific type of Nike product that we've been chasing for the last few months, that we've been buying everywhere, that we've been selling like crazy. We all made a lot of money with it, all right? all of the people that are in those groups, in the early groups, paid for probably for 5 years of the group mentorship just with that information. All right, so if you are still hesitating, I do not have a group open right now. If you really want to get in one group, you can join. There's a link in the description. But when I open a new group, you guys will know, okay, a new group, the way I open them usually. But if you want to join a current group, there's one offer that you can get right now. All right. So, what I'm trying to say is that I've told them, and I've seen that a lot of them have been putting everything they have in those products and are not sourcing anymore. And I've been telling them it is actually a mistake. It does not matter if you have replants. It doesn't matter if you are buying the same products over and over again. You should always have a stream of new leads and constantly trying new leads, discovering new brands, not necessarily new brands, but new products, looking at new suppliers. And you should have a process to do that, to be able to do that all the time. even if like you should get more leads than you can actually have, that you actually have money to spend, and not just in one category, but in multiple categories, right? This is, in my opinion, the best way to run the business, because you never know what is going to happen. And if you do not have that, it's hard to get started again if you stop. And I know, because this is what I did last summer. I stopped sourcing completely, and I was relying on replans. And then I had to get back to it and find new leads, because I was working with replans for 3 months, 4 months, maybe. So my business was stagnating, then it went a little bit down, and I was able to relaunch my business, to go back up, right? But it required a lot of energy, because if you actually stop everything, it's hard to get back to it, to get back to the process, to get back to the rhythm, right? And so this is why I've been insisting on the fact that you absolutely need to outsource sourcing. Even if you buy a lot of replans, even if a lot of your money is on replans, you should have new leads that you can potentially purchase every single day. You should have a target list that you're going to check. You can either build your own by getting my free ebook that teaches you to build a target list, or get my target list. You should do that. You should have a list of websites that you're going to check every day, and you should outsource the sourcing as well. Have somebody that actually is going to source this, okay, if you are not sourcing yourself. Especially if you do online arbitrage. If you do retail arbitrage, it's a little bit different, but should eventually move to online arbitrage anyway. You should not stick too long with retail arbitrage, in my humble opinion. Because it's really dumb to drive everywhere if you can actually place orders online for the same products, yes, sometimes, except if you run at a really a small scale where you are going to focus on clearance items that are super cheap. But like, if not, like, it's really dumb to do retail arbitrage, in my opinion. Except if you are running it through a huge scale and you have people actually helping you, grabbing the same products over and over again at different places, okay? If not, if you do 100% retail arbitrage, it's really dumb. If you are at a middle scale, it's really dumb. So let's go to OA and focus on sourcing, focus on improving your process, and build a real business, right? Because at mid scale, it's okay. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you are at a high scale, you can actually build a business on retail arbitrage if you have runners and all that stuff. At a lower scale, it's a hustle. It's not a business, it's a hustle, So, and this is why I always encourage people to actually build business, and you can definitely do it with retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, not just with wholesale and private labeling, So yeah, so the reason why I'm saying all this once again, and I'm going to insist on that, I'm really going to insist on that. Stop listening to what people are saying on Twitter. Get away from Amazon Twitter. Get away from Amazon Twitter. And you know what? Because people talk a lot about the benefits of networking, there's a lot of downside to networking too. And if you are not, and I'm going to tell you this, if you see this, if you discovered me on Twitter, because I posted on Twitter a little bit, I know that a few people came from Twitter to the channel. If you discovered me on Twitter, okay, if you are not trying to build a personal brand, get away from Amazon Twitter. Okay, get away from Amazon Twitter, because it is so dumb. Get away. If you are not really trying to build a personal brand, don't do it halfway. Okay, if you do not plan to build a personal brand and to use your personal brand in the future, do not do that shit. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all, in my opinion. Either go all the way, like I'm doing, for example, with YouTube and all that stuff, or don't do it. Don't go just to network a little bit here and there, meet 1 people, 2 people, because the truth is that if you network with the wrong people, and this is what I'm going to end this video on, if you network with the wrong people, they are going to give up, and you are going to give up as well. You are going to feel discouraged when you are going to see that, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised, and this is something that I've seen happening myself. And this is why, because for me, it's actually easy to network. People actually come talk to me. I do not need to go talk to people and meet people and all that stuff. And, the people that stick, I talk to a lot of people, and the people that stick, just stick. There's a lot of people that I was talking to last year that totally disappeared, right? And so, as I said, the truth is that I've seen it because I was in some groups with some people, and one guy get discouraged, and then there's another guy that drops off as well, and that was actually making money, but that starts feeling discouraged based on that shit, because you see that somebody that was actually getting some success, that was going all in, actually give up And I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be easy on you when that's going to happen, and you are going to second guess you're going to start second guessing the business and all that stuff, because like, do not believe the hype, all the shit that you see on Twitter. Like, a lot of people are actually lying on their number. Like 100%. A lot of people are lying on their number. And so you're going to see all that shit and you're going to start figuring out, because it actually takes some time. It takes some time to actually build a successful Amazon arbitrage business. All right. It takes some time. It's not easy. All right. Even if you have the capital, yes, it's easy to scale, but to be able to maintain your business at that scale, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. This is where actually business skills actually are needed, right? And so, this is why I'm saying, I believe that if you do not plan to go all in, with your personal brand and all that shit, if you do not plan to do that, do not network. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Not worth it at all. Because I guarantee that you're gonna start talking with people. The chance that you start networking with somebody that actually, because you'd be surprised. Like, some people seem, and because I'm telling you all this because I've interviewed a lot of people for my group mentorship, and there's people talking a lot about how motivated they are, and that begs you to take you in the group mentorship, that gives up super fast because they realize that it's actually not easy. Okay, it's actually not easy, and so the chance that you actually end up networking with somebody that is actually going to be successful long-term with this business model is pretty small. Okay, you're going to have some small sellers that are small and that are never going to be able to scale. You're going to have all the sellers that are going to give up, because most people give up. A lot of people actually start making money but then give up because they realize that it's not easy, and it may not be worth it for them to run a business. And so it's going to happen. You're going to be discouraged. And so I would say, if you absolutely want to network and meet people, what I would do personally, if I had to start again, is I would join a paid group. Okay. For example, like, there's a lot of paid Discord groups. Start being active in those, because that people that are paying are more likely, if it's like, let's say that it's $100 a month for a Discord group, and there's a few, and I do not want to advertise one over the other because I do not know these people. But if you start being active in those, there's a bigger chance that you actually meet people that are going to be good contact, people that you're going to be able to talk with as you grow. The chance that I have, as I said, is that people come to me, so I can just, I talk to other people, and if people drop, that's fine. That's totally fine. And then, because I was talking to a lot of people at the beginning of the channel, and from there, I would say probably 75% of the people actually gave up, while they had everything for free to succeed, right? They had everything for free because they had my channel, and then on the Discord server, I was doing free calls, okay, with people. I was literally teaching people for free, like not one-on-one, but almost one-on-one. People were coming one by one, and I was teaching them shit for free. I was teaching people to do stuff on stalking. I was teaching people to source, doing all that stuff for free. And there are still a lot of people that actually gave up, all right? So, and on the other end, some people went to make close to, say, I haven't seen somebody that went over 6 figures per month, but I've seen people getting really close to 6 figures per month from the people that were actually there at this moment, revenue, not profit, of course. But yeah, a lot of future 7-figure sellers were there and are on pace to become 7-figure sellers. If they are not already lifetime, they are going to become 7-figures yearly sellers soon. And this is a process that takes time. This is a process that takes time, that requires a lot of, it requires a ton of effort, and it's going to cause you a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot of painful stuff that are going to happen. You're going to want to give up. Okay, so as long as you stick around, I guarantee it's going to get better and your business is going to grow. Okay, I guarantee, I promise this is going to happen if you stick with it long enough. Okay, and you're going to need to put in a lot of effort. A lot of people are trying to sell this as an easy business. The business is simple. It's a simple business to run. You do not need to be a genius to run this business. But, you just need to remember, you just need to stick with it, and things are going to change. You're going to need to adapt. That's the two things that you need. All right. You're going to need to adapt, and you're going to need to stick with it. Okay, stick with it and adapt to change. That's it. As long as you do this, yes, it may be a little bit slow at the beginning, but eventually, if you stick with it long enough, it's going to take a couple of years. But like, give it 3, 4, 5 years, and you'll make a ton of money with this business model. But it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time to develop. It's not going to be something that is easy, and you are going to deal with a lot of pain. All right. So hopefully this video was helpful. I talked a little bit. I went a lot over what I wanted to do. So we've been talking for 20 minutes. Hope you guys actually enjoyed that. And I feel like when I actually sit here, it's more relaxed. And I've been thinking of, maybe when I'm in the US, because you guys know I'm not in the US right now. I'm in Belgium, right? If you've been following me for a little bit of time, you'll remember here, because I shot a lot of videos here as well last year when I was in Belgium, and because last year I stayed for a long time in Belgium. And you know what, I actually like, because the setup in front of my big computer, all that stuff on my desk, it really does not feel like, I feel what I want to say pretty much. It's even without the mic, because I did not take my big mic. I have those lavalier mic, wireless mics right now with which I shoot my videos, and so it really feels more like a natural conversation, right? So I think that then you guys don't even know what you think about this. You know what? It's just going to be me and you. We're going to talk a little bit, because the subject, what we wanted to talk about, Nike and all that stuff, is over. We're going to talk a little bit about the channel, and I hope you guys don't mind. And if you've been watching until here, leave a camel emoji in the comments, so I know that you've been watching until here. But yeah, it really feels like, and I guess this is one thing that I want to do a little bit more with my content. I was doing it, I would say, a little bit more last year, but when you shoot, because the way I have my setup and the way I do things when I record videos when I'm in the US, or my setup is not really flexible, because everything is set up. I just need to click. I just need one click and I start shooting, right? And so it's good in a lot of ways, but sometimes for creativity and for just me talking in front of the camera, like I did today, it's a little bit harder. And sometimes like I feel like I get tired of talking in front of the camera, because it really starts feeling like I'm not sure to explain that. It's a little bit harder, right? It's not harder. It's not that it's harder, but it's a little bit. I don't know how to say that, but whatever. These really feels more like when I'm able to sit, because I'm on a couch right now. I'm in a big living room, so it really feels like this is literally the place where I go, where I have some. This is the house where I grew up in, that I'm in right now. And so whenever I try, it's sort of a conversation pit, right? The way it's set up. There's another couch in front of me. There's a couch on my left, right? And so it makes it a little bit. Like, I feel like it makes it a little bit easier for me to talk, like we're actually having some sort, it's just me talking, I know, but some sort of conversation, right? So, and the setup is more minimalist. I just have my laptop in front of me. It's recording directly on my laptop. If I want to, pull up my laptop, I can still do it, I'm just going to do a random Google search. Here we go. So you can still see my screen if I really need to. And these minimalist setup are, I can just launch, relax, and still talk to you guys. So, I might build a second setup. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. I might still build a second setup in the US, where it's going to be, and I was thinking about actually making a podcast with one friend that I have in the US. We need to make a podcast, and so maybe if I can do a setup like this that is more flexible, that I can move easier, and this setup is easy to move. It's not the point. But because at the end of the day, I can just unplug the camera and bring it like this with my laptop, plug it to my laptop, and start recording, right? But yeah, it makes it a little bit easier to have long conversation and make long form videos like this, really giving you guys a lot of value. And there's another thing that I want to talk about, actually, because a lot of guys want, a lot of guys think that, and there was a comment like this on the channel a couple of weeks ago. And there's that one guy that said, oh, this could have been, because the video was on outsourcing. And at one point I was making a lot of video on outsourcing, because, the way I make my videos, I actually talk, most of the videos that I make, it's either one, me actually explaining to you guys one thing that I was requested to explain. But like the way I actually started my videos is, you know, pretty much I was actually creating content on the stuff that I was figuring out as I was actually, because I had been doing online arbitrage for a little while when I actually started doing, I was doing retail arbitrage and private labeling before that. And so the videos that I was making were on the stuff that, you know, I was pretty much figuring out, right? And it's pretty much the same thing that happened, because what happened with my outsourcing videos is that I was really starting to outsource sourcing and outsourcing a lot more stuff in my online arbitrage business. And so because of that, you know, the stuff that I was talking about was relevant to me today. You know, it's the truth is that if you really want to learn sourcing, I believe that it's going to be better for you to watch all my sourcing videos from the beginning, because I was literally explaining stuff, and I would be closer to the level that you are right now if you are just starting sourcing. I was literally explaining stuff that I was figuring out. And so, you know, if you do something for a long time, actually, if you've been doing something for a long time, it starts to get, you know, when you explain the task, it starts to get a little bit harder, because there's a lot of steps in the process that may be subconscious, that you're doing subconsciously, right? And so these videos that I was making at that time was literally stuff that I was figuring out. As I was figuring out the stuff, I was making a video on it. And I remember one specific video, not all of the videos, right? But one specific video where I said, hey, I just figured out, because I did not like storefront stalking before, and I just figured out the key to storefront stalking. And I actually made a video on it, because I was finally starting to get a lot of success with storefront stalking. Before that, I was doing mainly manual sourcing and tactical arbitrage, right? I was not somebody that actually started with storefront stalking. And so, you know, and it was pretty much the same thing. As I was discovering these new, as I was doing way more outsourcing, I was learning a ton of stuff, right? And so all these small nuggets that I was discovering, I was sharing them on that specific video. And so the guy said, there's one guy that said, this could have been a 3-minute video, you made it like a 9-minute video, you could just have said outsourcing is important. This is not where the value is, you know, and this is why at the end of the day, my channel could be growing way faster if, and I'm really wondering if somebody is actually going to watch the video until here, because it's been 27 minutes that I've been talking. But because my channel could be growing way faster if I was making fast-paced videos, really with fast-paced editing, and really going straight to the point. But there's a lot of value in actually listening to all, because if you read a book, you know, and this is how I'm going to exemplify this. If you read a book, you will see that at the end of the day, if you read a self-help book, or just like a non-fiction book, like a book that you want to teach you something, except if it's a scientific essay type of book, but even those, you know, if I think about, I don't know, like if I think about free economy, if you read it, it's going to tie back to what I'm trying to say. But except if it's something that is really super technical and you're actually writing a research paper, like, people actually do not learn by reading research paper, right? Because we do not read it with the thing. I mean, except if you're in university, if you are like actually into research and all that stuff, or if you've been into that. And so sometimes, yes, for example, if I want to learn some stuff, sometimes, yes, I read research paper. But like most people, when you learn, and even yourself, like reading research paper is really good to actually learn about cutting edge stuff, right? And stuff that you may not really understand everything about, because it's going to be explained and you're going to start getting an idea, and you can read the conclusion, right? Pretty much. But regarding, you know, learning a trade, learning stuff, such as the stuff that I'm explaining, what you call the fluff, you know, the fluff is not without value, right? Because this fluff brings a lot of context. And like, as I said, if you actually read a book, a lot of the time, you'll see that a specific point that the author is making is emphasized by stuff that people are by a lot of stories that are actually explained. You would see 2-3 stories tying back to the specific point to exemplify the point and to give context, and you learn way more by reading those than reading the point, because at the end of the day you could just read book summaries and you will get everything, but you do not do that, because you do not learn a lot by doing that, and you learn more context by doing this. The fluff, what you call fluff, that is in these videos, is actually important stuff that can actually give you context, because it's literally me, and this is the reason why I actually do this. And and I actually don't script my videos. I don't script my videos because I can actually literally, like, it's raw information, right? And if you are not ready with that, there's a ton of other creators that make like surface level content. If that suits you, you can go with them. I really don't care. At the end of the day, if I wanted to grow my channel fast, I could do that. I could hire an editor, do fast-paced content, hire a script writer, and I could grow my channel way faster. This is not the point. What I'm trying to say is this, all that fluff gives you a lot of information and a lot of context, and you can literally start understanding the thought process behind, the thought process behind all these things, the thought process behind the conclusion that I am making, and the reason that led me to go to this conclusion. And the reason why a lot of people are actually not successful with a lot of the stuff that they do is because they go to the conclusion and they do not understand the conclusion, because they do not have the context that led the people that they get this conclusion from. They do not understand the context that may make those conclusions false. And so this is one really great example of that is with storefront stalking, as I said, because a lot of people were making videos on storefront stalking. A lot of people are still doing it, saying that it's the best method for beginners. And as I said, I believe it's not, and I've been saying it over and over again. And the reason why, and I explain why, that conclusion is false. That conclusion is false because a lot of the people that are actually saying this did not start their business by doing storefront stalking. And so because of that, storefront stalking may not be, it's not even they have no idea, because it's not even how they started their business, their online arbitrage business. I actually started my online arbitrage business. I was doing retail arbitrage, moved to online arbitrage. I tried with storefront stalking multiple times and gave up because I did not find anything, and I defaulted back to online arbitrage, because to retail arbitrage, because there's a lot of stuff that I did not understand. And I explain in all those videos, if you actually watch them, I explain in the fluff, in what you call fluff, I explain why storefront stalking is not the best thing to do, and why you should probably build your own target list, and from there start doing the sourcing, whether it's tactical arbitrage, whatever, and then move to storefront stalking. But you're gonna learn way faster if you actually do everything, all the other stuff that people do not talk about. If you actually work with tactical arbitrage, if you do manual sourcing, if you do all that stuff, you are going to learn way faster than if you were to do storefront stalking. Storefront stalking is still essential. And if to be 100% honest, most of the leads that we found today, I don't think most of the leads that we found today are coming from storefront stalking. And I do not source myself a lot anymore, but like most of the leads that we've been finding, definitely, they are not coming from storefront stalking. Most of them are not coming from storefront stalking. And so, storefront stalking can be helpful to people that are new, but it's not the best sourcing method. And the whole conclusion is explained in what you call fluff, So, I really want you guys to understand this. And this is why I actually enjoy doing these types of format, right, with my videos. But to tie back all this with Nike, because we literally just spent 5 minutes on Nike and then 25, almost like I would say 30 minutes on other stuff in this video. To go back with Nike, at the end of the day, whether Pattern gets the Nike wholesale account or not, whether Nike actually come back on Amazon, yes. The best-selling listings such as the Nike socks, you know what, just open the Keeper Product Finder, and if you've been selling some Nike products over and over again, you know which listings, Yes, a lot of them are going to disappear. Not all of them. You'll still be able to make a lot of money with Nike, and also a lot of people are going to give up on Nike. And you absolutely want stuff to become harder, because it's going to remove a lot of the competition. As long as you are willing to go all in, to put in a lot of effort, you'll rise to the top if you are willing to do that but you need to wish for things to be hard. Okay, things needs to be hard. If they're not, there's going to be too much competition. When things are hard, you have less competition, so your business can actually thrive, right? So I'll let you guys go. You know, let me know in the comments, please. If you watch the videos until the end, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about that whole situation. How do you feel about? And if you haven't watched the video in its entirety, I do not care about what you feel, how you feel about the Nike situation. But if you did, let me know how you feel about the Nike situation. Let me know how you feel about all the other stuff that I talked about. Let me know if I should make more videos talking like this, maybe a little bit more laid back, more podcast style. Let me know what you think about that. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. Thank you for watching.